Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm Lance Malone, filling in for Kevin Price during this segment. And I work for Standard Supply. We're a distributor of heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration products. We've got branches all over Texas. And what we do is we inventory products from all over the world to help the best contractors in Texas take care of their customers. When they have a problem in their home or business with heating, cooling, refrigeration, or ventilation needs. I'm really excited today. I've got two guests on the program with me today. I've got Roger Witham and Stephen Miley, and they're both with Minuteman Heat and Air here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Actually, they're over in Arlington. Roger is the sales manager there, and Stephen is their service manager. And you can find out more about them at MinutemanHeatingandAC.com. That's MinutemanHeatingandAC.com. You can also get in touch with them at 817-563-1660. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, pleasure.
Good to have you. So we'll start with Roger. Roger, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
I've been doing air conditioning and heating for about 31 years, both in residential and light commercial, specializing in residential. We just started this Minuteman Heating and Air the beginning of March 1st this year. And I was lucky enough to be able to surround myself with about 4 or 5 guys that I've known for about the last 10 years in the air conditioning business. And we're really excited for the future.
Outstanding. Stephen, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I sure can. I've been doing heating and air conditioning for almost 8 years now, and I've done everything from residential installation to maintenance to commercial installation and maintenance, and even some diagnostic and repair stuff along the way, as well as some sales stuff as well. So kind of a plethora of different things throughout the industry.
Okay. Now, Roger, you said that you guys just started Minuteman Heat and Air a few months ago. Tell us about Minuteman and what you guys do, kind of what your specialties are, maybe your service area, and how you got started.
Well, our service area is primarily the Arlington-Fort Worth Mansfield area, but we go all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I would like to think that one thing that's going to make us a little different than a lot of people or a lot of other companies is that we look outside of just the air conditioning system itself, try to look at the whole home, look at the duct system, and basically just try to see what each individual homeowner's needs are. A lot of what we've noticed is that a lot of the air conditioning systems, put in from the 90s on, have been put in with inadequate duct systems, which seem to kill systems, faster than anything. And a lot of people seem to overlook that fact and just replace the box and basically really create a bigger problem for the homeowner.
Sure. A lot of homeowners don't probably even realize that, since the duct system is not visible to the homeowner for the most part. Well, Stephen, let's talk a little bit about new systems. This is that time of year where it's just started to get really, really hot, and people are having to look at replacing their systems. And, over the past few years, these have actually been available for a number of years, but they've really become more popular recently. We're seeing these 2-speed and variable speed systems come into play. And so can you explain a little bit in layman's terms for the listeners who don't know anything about air conditioning? What is a 2-speed system and a variable speed system? Maybe tell them a little bit about how those work.
Absolutely. Well, your 2-speed and your variable speed system, it's actually, in layman's terms, kind of the same thing. You have to have a variable speed indoor unit to match with your 2-speed outdoor unit. And when you think of 2-speed, what you should think of is really kind of hybrid technology in the cars, or more specifically like the new car engines that go from 8 cylinders all the way down to 4, because that's really what your air conditioner is doing. It gives you a low setting and a high setting, so you're going to have high efficiency and really much more comfort, and that's where the variable speed comes back into play with the 2-speed systems. Just get better airflow across the entire home and more even temperature control in each room.
Okay. Well, Roger, what are some factors that someone would want to consider when they're trying to decide between putting a single-speed system or a 2-speed or variable speed system in their house?
I would think one of the first things, the two things that you're going to want to consider is what comfort level you want to experience in your own home and how long you're going to be in your home. If you're going to be in your home for years and years, then obviously the variable speed with 2-speed or even the variable speed condensing units that they have out now would be, the route to go to save more energy and keep you comfortable in your home. If you're just going to be in your home for a year or two and you're just trying to get by, maybe the single speed would probably be your best bet.
Okay. Now, Stephen, I know there are a lot of variables when you're looking at replacing somebody's system, but can you give us just a range, maybe percentage-wise or something, so the listeners would know what the approximate cost difference is between the average single-speed and variable-speed system?
Depending on the type of system you have, whether it's gas or heat pump, the cost difference between single-speed and two-speed with a variable-speed system, it's not that much. Specifically on the gas system, it's a few $100s, which really is nothing when you're talking about replacing an entire system. So it makes a lot of sense in most cases, as Roger just said, to go ahead and go with the two-stage option as opposed to sticking with a standard single-stage unit.
Okay. Yeah, Roger, you mentioned that there was an energy efficiency benefit to putting in a two-speed or variable speed system.
Yes, sir.
How long does it typically take for a consumer to recoup that additional investment?
I think that's going to be on an individual home basis on how everybody uses their air conditioner, because everybody uses it differently. Some people may recoup it in the first year. Some people may take 2 or 3 years, to recoup it. But I think overall, everybody's going to recoup, on a two-speed.
Okay. So, Stephen, are there any negative aspects to installing a variable speed system versus a single speed?
The only negative aspect that I can think of, and that's really a great question, is a lot of homeowners are going from a single-stage unit to a two-stage unit these days, and the two-stage units have to, I guess the word would be wind up, meaning they don't start out with full capacity. So it starts off really low. We do get some complaints with the new ones where they don't think it's working properly because it's actually just running so quiet in the home and they're not used to that. But that wind-up phase where it really kicks in from low to high, you go from a system that's now new and not very loud and kind of winding up to being loud, and it gives the impression that the system is loud when in actuality it's still much quieter than the one that we replaced. That's the only complaint that I've heard in the 8 years that I've been installing and selling them. So
okay. Well, that's great. So how can the listeners get more information, Roger, about variable speed equipment or gather facts to make a more informed decision?
They can always feel free to call 817-563-1660. They can follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Just give us a call. We'd be glad to talk to anybody.
That's right. You can also visit their website at minutemanheatingandac.com. That's minutemanheatingandac.com. I'm Lance Malone in for Kevin Price today, and it's been my pleasure to have Roger and Stephen from Minuteman Heating and Air on with me today. You can find out more about their company again at minutemanheatingandac.com. And you can learn more about my company, Standard Supply, at ssdhvac.com. We'll be back in a minute.